We are back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And Ckminaj keeps her foot on Cardi B's neck and makes her bow down. Now, it has been reported that Beauty and the Beat by Justin and Nicki Minaj ranks amongst the most streamed songs of 2026 on Payola so far. This song was released in 2012. Unfortunately, Cardi B's Aha is not one of the most streamed songs of 2026, unfortunately. But maybe, one of the songs on her next album will be for 2027. But it seems as though while Nicki Minaj is on hiatus, she's still out charting and out streaming the other female rappers. People forget that Beauty and the Beat went top 15 on the Billboard Hot 100 this year. People forget about that, okay? It recharted on the Billboard Hot 100 even though it came out in 2012. And in my opinion, I do think that the general public miss Nicki Minaj. You're not going to admit it, but they miss Nicki, and that's why people are still streaming her music, because at the end of the day, Nicki was making the game shake. You know what I'm saying? She was setting trends. She was making the girls, go harder in the booths, get better bars, or hire a ghostwriter. And I think a lot of the girls, they're not as motivated when it comes to hip hop and rap unless Nicki Minaj is around. When Nicki around, they're motivated to be the best. When Nicki's not around, the girls, half of them go ghost. Half of them go on hiatus. Megan, Ice Spice, Doechii, when are they dropping? You know what I'm saying? Half the girls go on hiatus when Nicki goes on hiatus. That's the real tea. Doja Cat's the exception because she just dropped an album, so did Cardi B and Scratch Off. But where is Megan, Doechii, and Ice Spice? Okay? The girls should be dropping because at the end of the day, Nicki's not here. The competition has been removed because she's not dropping. Y'all need to drop. Okay? But some of the girls allegedly are waiting for the queen to return. Now, Rihanna's vocal producer, Cook Harrell, has made another post insinuating that Rihanna's coming. He said, made it back home base to put the finishing touches on what's to come. Vocals. Okay? So let me know if you guys think he's talking about Rihanna. I mean, he has worked with other artists, but Rihanna is the main artist that he has worked with. And in my opinion, I think she's definitely dropping. I just don't care what she dropped per se, because I think it's going to be lackluster. But Rihanna is coming with music, and allegedly she's supposed to be doing a tour. She's supposed to be doing a tour. It's not going to be a long tour, but she's supposed to be doing a tour as well. That should be interesting because Rihanna cannot, in my opinion, sing live. Now, some fans are saying that Cardi B is in her Nicki Minaj era. She performed with Kehlani on stage at Kehlani's tour, and she had a Chanel bag on stage. She was wearing it, similar to what Nicki Minaj used to do back in the day. So a lot of fans are saying she's in her Nicki Minaj era. Nicki always wore a Chanel bag on stage when she was performing with Meek Mill, when they were dating. So people are saying that, Cardi B is copying Nicki Minaj. Some people are saying that, she's stepping it up with the fashion. I don't know. I don't like this outfit. Now, it could be fashion. I know it's Chanel, but I feel like it's too loud for me. To me, it's gaudy and loud. I don't really like stuff like that. But I will say that I do feel like Cardi B, she tries to remake or redo things Nicki Minaj has done in the past, because just like all the other female rappers, she's a fan. She can't admit that she's a fan, though, because Nicki Minaj don't like her. So because Nicki don't like Cardi B will never admit that she was a fan of Nicki Minaj now. Maybe 6-7 years ago, she probably would have admitted it, but she's not going to do that now because she feels like, why am I going to show Nicki Minaj love when I know she don't like me and she called me ugly, right? So that's all that's about. I think if Cardi B and Nicki were in a better place, I think Cardi B would openly express how much she's influenced by Nicki Minaj and how much she loves and adores her and copies her on a day-to-day basis. Now, moving on to Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion got a new alter ego brewing. Now, she did say she was bringing Tina Snow back for Act 3. Previously, she was in her serpent era. If you guys remember, she was using the serpent as symbolisms of all the snakes that were in the camp in regards to, 1501, the people she fell out with. She has a lot of pictures with some wolves, okay? And that allegedly is going to be the theme for her next era. And she got another alter ego that she will be teasing for Act 3. Let me know how y'all feel about it. Now, in my opinion, I think that is very creative for Megan Thee Stallion to, use a wolf as symbolism. I definitely think she's going to be throwing shots like she did with the Piss record. She going to be doing the same thing where she was throwing shots at everybody that has went up against her. Glorilla, Sexy Red, and Nicki Minaj. Now, it has been reported that Blue Ivy Carter, Camel Face, and Beyonce's daughter, her net worth has went up. Now, Blue Ivy Carter debuts her profile on the Celebrity Net Worth with a staggering $2 million, placing her as one of the richest teen celebrities in Hollywood. They said, she made $2 million so far in her career between recording music, touring, audiobook work, film acting royalties, and other entertainment compensation. And people forget that she was on Black is King and she won a Grammy. And then she got paid from The Lion King. And then also remember she was a voiceover for Buck. Okay, I think it had something to do with hair. I forgot the name of the book, but that's how she's been making money. She does get royalties because Beyonce and Camel Face have featured her on songs. Camel Face just put Blue Ivy on a song. It flopped. Nobody cared about it, but she was on a song. So that's how she's making her money. Plus, she's been touring with Beyonce, so they giving her some money for that. Even though I don't think she's the best dancer, she's gotten better over time. So let me know how y'all feel about a lot of people are speculating by 2030, 2029, she will be worth approximately $10 to $20 million. Okay. Cause obviously, she's only 14, she's only 13, 14 years old. When she get in her 20s, she gonna skyrocket and possibly become a billionaire just like her parents. Now, moving on from that, it's only getting worse for Ira Star. Stargirl by Ira Star is projected to sell 5,000 units in its first week in the U.S., a little bit lower than her previous album, which sold 8,000. It is currently not predicted to debut on the Billboard 200 chart, but this is just a projection. Official charts will be shown on Tuesday. So let me know how y'all feel about it. I'm like, goodness gracious. I see a lot of D-sucking when it comes to Ira Star in the comments on social media, but y'all sure don't buy her music. 5,000 copies, and she had hella collaborations. And a Rihanna co-sign. Rihanna co-signed her. She's under Devil Nation, so Camel Face has co-signed her. On top of that, she got a Leon Thompson collaboration, a Zayn collaboration, Rema collaboration. Like, why is y'all not supporting Ira Star? But y'all claim she's so much better than Tyler. If she's so much better, buy the music. You know what I'm saying? If I like an artist enough, I'm going to support their music. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to stream it. I'm going to their concerts. But y'all don't be doing that. And then it feels as though people only like Ira Star on social media, similar to Megan Thee Stallion, because y'all don't buy their music. Now, Megan Thee Stallion would never do 5,000 first week. Let's be very clear. She'll never do that unless I feel like she went on like a 10-year hiatus and then came back, to music like Rihanna. Then she doing 5,000. But I feel like if she continues to remain relevant in hip hop culture, then she would never do that. But it's just ridiculous at this point. Now, Kendrick Lamar got these industry niggas pressed. And here goes the game once again going on a full-fledged rant about the king of rap.
I put Kendrick in places that, I wanted to be, that I wish niggas would put me. And I didn't ask for nothing in return. Top Dog, I'm saying this and I know it's gonna go to the internet. Top Dog wanted to give me half a TV. I told him, nigga, I got Black Wall Street, it's good, bro, I wanna see you man. You do you good, make that shit bigger than everything. And he did. So I got love for niggas. And also, when this nigga Drake came in the game, he adapted to me, homie. Like, we got close. Drake is on my albums way back then. He on Good Girls, Bad Girl on, the album that came out in fucking 2009, 10, some shit like that. I'm not same. I'm not no type of, I don't flip-flop on my friends, son. I don't flip-flop on my friends. If Drake is in town, he got a show, and they want to go, and I call them, the nigga put them where they want to be and all their friends and take out. I turn my back on a nigga like that. And I don't want a nigga that I help usher into the game, meaning like Kendrick and Top and all of that. I don't want them niggas to feel a way about my decisions about what I do as a real nigga. Because I was a real nigga to y'all, I'm a real nigga to him, I'm a real nigga to everybody in this room. And if anybody in here that knows me, that's my friend, from Kyle and Louie, the Phonics, to Mike and Keys, to RJ, to HD, to Sonic, to DJ 9, to Charisma. If anybody feel like I ain't been real with you, here's the mic. Come tell me I haven't been a real nigga with you since the day I met you. Nobody ain't gonna do that. So it's like all the capping, all the disrespect on my leg, you got to be fucking kidding me after the work I put in. Cut the shit. Cut the shit.
Now, the game is receiving 50,000 lashings. One, this proves time and time again that Kendrick Lamar is the king of rap. Kendrick hasn't put out an album since 2024. He hasn't been out and about. He's been low-key. Yet, rappers seem to be unable to keep his name out of their mouths. I don't understand why the game is obsessed with Kendrick Lamar. This is like his third rant talking about how Kendrick and TDE don't fuck with him because he cool with Drake. Who cares? Who cares? Didn't you ask Drake to be on your album? You just put out an album. It flopped. Did 1 million streams for the whole album. That's trash, even with a Drake feature. Why do you care about getting a Kendrick Lamar cosign? Whether you helped him or not, he don't fuck with you because you close with Drake. Who the fuck cares? Cardi B don't fuck with JT because JT worked with Ckminaj. That's how the game goes. You gotta pick a side when it comes to this rap beef. People always say, oh, Kendrick's so boring. He don't work with nobody. Yet everybody wants the Kendrick Lamar stimulus package. Everybody want to work with Kendrick, get a Kendrick co-sign. Young Thug was complaining that, Kendrick wouldn't give me a collaboration. J. Cole complained that he wasn't on first person shooter because everybody wants the Kung Fu Kenny stimulus package. The Drake stimulus package don't work anymore. He put out a record with Karol G. It did nothing. He's on the Games album. It did nothing. Everybody want to work with Kendrick because it does something. Every time Kendrick pop out, he wins Grammys. Instantly goes #1 or top 10. He keeps the conversation on the bars. People be reciting and dissecting his bars. How comes nobody is dissecting Drake and the Games collaboration? But when, Kendrick Lamar put out Good Flirts with Baby Keem, which is Baby Keem's song, everybody was just dissecting the bar, the shade he kind of subliminally threw at Young Thug. It wasn't really shade, but he said, I gossip with my girl like Young Thug too, kind of talking about how Young Thug was talking about him on them jail calls. But the point of the matter is, Kendrick Lamar clearly is not as boring as people say he is, because all the other rappers want the Kendrick Lamar cosign or stimulus package. The game did like 3 different rants talking about how Kendrick won't pick up his phone. Why do you care if you cool with Drake? Ain't Drake your fave? Because the Drake stimulus package is over. I like Iceman. Iceman is still the album of the year. But when Kendrick drop, he wins Grammys. He causes conversation in hip hop that Drake doesn't do right now. You know, he caused conversation for the first week, but people are kind of over it now. You know what I'm saying? Like when GNX dropped, when Not Like Us dropped, people were still talking about the music. Months later, J. Cole was crying how he wouldn't get on First Person Shooter. But if Kendrick is so boring, if he's not the #1 rapper, why do y'all care? Because he's that nigga. He's the #1 rapper.